Saturday afternoon, and I know there's no better place you'd rather be than right here at Sleepm, right?
That's right.
Do you guys realize I've been here 8 months and I only missed one Saturday? That's because I was somewhere else doing money-making activity. And do you realize I've done a daily call every single day except 1 week, and I had a semi-emergency going on then, but I did a call every single day since the new year began. The biggest part of what we do is following through on what we start. I can't stress how important that is for all of us. Follow through on what you start. I wasn't always that way. I know what it's like to start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. I've done it so many times. I remember one day, I came home one day after leaving a big event, because I always showed up at all these big events, always got invites. Looked like, I don't know, was I gullible or what? But looked like I was always attracted to network marketing people. They would find me some kind of way, and I always wound up showing up. And I remember leaving this big rally one day, and I get home that day and I take a long look at myself in the mirror. And I ask myself one important question. Why me? Why does it appear as if everybody is experiencing success but me? It was a tear-jerking moment when I realized what the problem was. Why me? I get involved in all these different businesses, and I can't even take my family out to dinner with the money that I earn. What you guys think about that? That was a aha moment for me. I said, I'm sick and tired of getting involved in these different businesses and not making money. I said, it's not just about me, but what about my family? My family look at me, and I'm in and out of all these programs, and they said, what in the world are you doing, Al? You're wasting all the household money on this pie in the sky. You ain't gonna make no money at that. And that's what everybody started telling me. And I almost believed them. And I'm gonna tell you where my wake up moment was. See, I lived in Hawaii before, and I always say I was always almost there. I lived in Hawaii, and I used to go for a jog every single day. And I'd be in the midst of multi-million-dollar homes. And I used to ask myself every day, I wonder what that person is doing. Beautiful house. I jog a few blocks further. Wow, nice car. I wonder what that person is doing for a living. And it was obvious that they weren't doing what I did, because I wasn't making no money. I left Hawaii and I moved to Beverly Adjacent. Anybody know what Beverly Adjacent is? Those are the Beverly Hills wannabes. I was close, but not quite there. I wasn't quite there. But every Sunday, I take my Bollywood princess for a drive down Mulholland Drive. Anybody know where Mulholland Drive is? That was my Sunday afternoon dream moment. I go dreaming every Sunday afternoon. And I'm amazed that my wife tolerated and put up with me. But I go for that drive. I go for this drive one day. I came across a house. It was so big. I had to stop the car, put it in park, and turn it off. And I reclined my seat. Because this house was bigger than most of the hotels I'm used to staying at. I'm used to staying at the places that leave the light on at night for you. You guys know what I'm talking about. Charlie know what I'm talking about. He done stayed at some of the places too. Look, but I recline my seat and I'm sharing with my wife about what kind of staff we need to maintain the place. I'm sharing with her about the swimming pools and the waterfalls in the back. And then I'm also sharing with her about the cars that's going to be in my garage. Ronnie is not a car type of girl, so those was going to be my cars in the garage. Then she woke me up. She reminded me that I was only making $2,600 per month. Ouch, that hurts. I was at the peak of my military career, and I was only earning $2,600 a month. Again, one of those tear-jerking moments. I'm like, man, I got 19 plus years here, and I'm only making $2,600 a month. Something's wrong with that picture. I was 36 years old, and I'm saying, man, boy, have time flew. But I made a decision that day that I was going to do something different. And I made that commitment not only to myself, I made a commitment to my family that they deserve more than what I had given them. And I made that decision that day that I was going to do something big. I'll never forget, I took a trip back to Hawaii. I was bugging the heck out of my wife, and she said, why don't you just take a vacation or something? I took a trip to Hawaii by myself. My wife had given me one check in case of an emergency. And I remember somebody invited me to an opportunity meeting. And I'm saying, here I am broke. I got 19 years in the military. I don't have no money to start no business at all. I had some degrees, but they wasn't exactly sizzling hot. But I did have some degrees, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I guess you could say I'm still trying to find myself. But one thing I did do all the time I was in the military, I went to school, and I went to school, and I went to school. I used up all my benefits and some while I was in the military. But here's what, I said, man, I got invited to this opportunity meeting that night, and one side of me was telling me, don't go. And the reason I didn't want to show up, I knew what my track record had been like. I'm the guy who started and stopped everything. I didn't really want to show up that night because I didn't really want to find out had I broken that cycle of just being a quitter. But I showed up that night. I pulled out my wallet and I wrote a check for $195. And that was the beginning of something special for me. I didn't even call home and share with my wife what I had done, because I knew what she was going to say. She'd seen my track record. She gonna say, oh no, Al, not another one. I gave you that check for an emergency. Is that really an emergency? That's exactly what she would have said. So I did not utter a sound. I got busy and I said, you know what? I'm going to